Welcome, race fans, and tonight the Relentless Racing League is bringing you live racing from Kentucky for the Connor Darnell Design All-Star race. And as always, it's not Monday, but I've got him here with me tonight, Mr. Bobby Rafferty. Bobby, we're going to have a long night. We've got the open, then we've got the feature. We got people fighting tooth and nails trying to get in here to secure themselves a possibility to be in Cup next season. How you think it's going to go tonight?
Go about the same way it always does. It's going to be a dogfight, but it's going to be damn sure a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, it definitely is, especially with this about 10 minutes before everything's going to break loose. If you look through the field, if you see the cars, and it's acting goofy, awesome. It's going to be a long night.
Oh, it's going to be fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, they just don't need to spin out. We'll be all right.
Exactly.
But we don't have the points for any. This is a points-free race. The way it's going to break down open, it's going to be 3 10-lap shootouts. Feature is going to be broken into 2 stages. Stage 1 is going to be 30. Stage 2 is going to be 30. And then it's going to be a mad dash shootout for 40 laps.
And if I remember correctly, the winner of each stage transfers directly to the main show, and then the top 3 from the overall race here will go to the main show. Now, what's unique about that is the stage winners once they win the stage, they're done. They can go jump into the main server immediately. So we will absolutely see different stage winners and then a different top 3 from the previous 2 stages.
Unless you just want to be completely rude and try to get it both and knock somebody out. I mean, the
that would not make
there.
many friends. I'll tell you that much. That would not make many friends.
It's turned up just a tad. Y'all gonna have to bear with me a little bit. I've kind of been under the weather today, so hopefully I can get the mic muted in case anything goes bad on my end. But 7 minutes. I mean, we've got ARCA drivers in Cup cars, truck drivers in Cup cars, Xfinity drivers in Cup cars, all trying to, plus the ones outside the top 15 in Cup on points, trying to get into that main feature. Going to be later tonight.
Yep, and I am not going to be running the main this year. We've run it last 3 years in a row. Figured to come up in the booth with you and give you a hand tonight.
We'll take it anytime we can get it.
Well, I keep hearing a lot of people, and I still, as grateful as I am, hear a lot of people say how they like me in the broadcast booth a lot. I think they cray, but that's just me. But, you know, I've got my All-Star win. I was lucky, really, really lucky to win it in my first go-around in ARCA when I was an ARCA driver. You know, I did what I needed to do in the All-Star race. I want to sit back and watch and enjoy it because, like you said, it is a long night, especially for the guys that got to go through the open. It's a lot of laps.
Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. Give a shout out to a couple of our sponsors from August Series, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Mr. Connor Darnell a little bit about what he's got going on. So sit tight, and we'll be right back after a break. Well, it wasn't Connor that joined us, but it looks like we've got Mr. Davey Hendricks has wandered his way into here. Davey, how's it looking out there?
It's looking like it's going to be a pretty good open race. These Nixon cars handle a lot differently than I thought they were going to.
They the super tight skis, Davey. But I'm gonna say it. I'm super excited that we got a Davey in here. I may or may not have accidentally on purpose peer pressured him into coming in all day long.
There was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that. I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of that.
Well, Davey, if you'd be so kindly to jump up there real quick and tell Connor to come down here real quick before we start, give a little rundown of his company he's got sponsored this tonight, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I got you.
For some reason, Discord's acting up, computer's acting up, it's All-Star acting up tonight. But we're gonna survive. Got my mug. Ate. Bobby, have you ate? Because it's gonna be a long night.
Oh, I definitely ate. And I'll tell you what, if the All-Star race was on a Friday night, I'd have a cold one cracked right now. Because we have been melting up here in New York State. I know everybody thinks New York, oh, it's not hot up there. No. It is the devil's furnace in New York right now.
We'll come down here, visit around in August, get some of this Tennessee weather.
Oh, trust me, I've been in North Carolina and Kannapolis multiple Julys and Augusts living down there. It is to that level, if not worse. With the humidity, it was 80 degrees out. The heat index was 110.
It's typical. That's why I would never support those electric companies that say run your heat at air at 75. No. Not me.
It is. I've never seen it like this for an extended period of time in the Northeast. Like you said, this is like that Tennessee, North South Carolina. It's hot out, but the humidity is 10 million%. It has just been brutal.
That Corvette guy, I think he may live out in the Midwest. He's saying 110, that's it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, Mr. Corvette guy, if I wanted to melt, I would move out by you. But that being said, when we were in Dallas-Fort Worth, it was 115 and felt like it was 75 because there was no humidity. So I don't want to hear it.
I'd rather be West Texas.
Y'all got that
than
dry
East Texas.
heat out there.
West Texas heat's a whole lot better than that East Texas heat to me, especially with the humidity.
Oh, man.
But somebody who's right there amongst it all up in Oklahoma City, that's Mr. Connor Darnell. Connor, sponsoring the race tonight. Give us a little rundown on what you've got going with Connor Darnell Designs.
Yeah, so I'll try to keep this kind of sweet and short, but yeah, I run my own design company. I do a lot of graphic design, photography, videography, mainly sports media focused. I do all sorts of sports, you know, from your traditional sports, from baseball, softball, basketball, and even getting into the racing scene quite a bit. There's chances are I've had opportunities to partner with some smaller dirt series here in Oklahoma. So it's a whole lot of stuff. We do a lot of athletic equipment, such as like bag tags, locker plates, posters, banners. So if you need a banner for your shop with your car on it, you know, we do that. We do all sorts of stuff at Connor Darnell Designs, and you know, it's awesome to be out here and sponsoring tonight's All-Star race. It should be a good one. Hopefully I can make it into the big show tonight.
Well, I was going to ask you what's your goal for it, but I think that's everybody's goal in here. We've got, it looks like going to be about 32 drivers trying to get, it's going to be a pretty good fight.
Yeah, earlier in the race, you know, I've been kind of running quite a bit of laps, which isn't normal for me because I just show up and run. But you know, we got some guys from the lower divisions. We got some guys that are in the Cup Series, so they're used to the car, and it's going to make for some good racing tonight. I think it's the first time I've actually been in the top 10 or top 7 in practice time this season. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how qualifying goes, and all that fun stuff.
Well, it looks like qualifying for it's about to start, so we will get you sent back to where you need to go, so you can kind of get those laps in if you need to.
Sounds good. This should be interesting in case you want to watch me attempt to qualify, but we'll see how that goes.
All right,
I'll see you guys here in a bit.
Put it in your hands, David, to get them in the right room. Because for some reason,
Actually, Discord for me is I updated it and I can't move people or anything.
Hey, so it's not just us
Okay,
then. It's
good.
not just us.
I asked
Okay, good.
Tony, Zach, and all of them are facing the same issue, so I was glad he got down there without my help.
Well, Davey, what do you think are going to be the keys for tonight? I mean, let's be completely honest. You might as well be baby Jesus in the cup car. I know you don't like hearing it, but I call it. Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. Thank you. You were great. This season, point blank, you have been. So, what do you think the keys for tonight, especially for the guys that are not current cup drivers? Say you have somebody like a Preety or a Roy or a Spencer Dewsbury, any of these guys that may not have as much experience in these cars.
Oh, for me, it's gonna just try and keep the car under them. I feel like these cars are tight, but they can snap loose really, really quick, especially if you're on seams or if you touch like the apron and the tri-oval, stuff like that. But I feel like if these guys can keep it out of the wall and keep their front ends clean, I think they're in good shape. The hardest part, especially for the people who don't have a lot of time in this car, is that what do you want to call it? The dirty air is real in these cars, much more than anything else we run.
Yes.
So if they've not been, especially for for these people that go from the open to the main, they're going to be starting in the very back. And when you have 20, 30 cars in front of you and you have nothing but dirty air, you have to be real careful with how you treat the throttle, just to make sure you don't push up into the wall, or destroy the right front, trying to get through the whole pack.
I was just going to say that I think another huge key, and I couldn't agree with you anymore, but I think another huge key tonight is going to be patience, patience, patience. I always preach it, but especially at this track, with the way the differences between turn 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. 3 and 4, if you charge that corner, a quarter car length too far, it's just going to push directly up the track, and that is going to be a major, major problem as the run goes on. Because you know as well as I do, once you get these tires angry on these next-gen cars, they don't cool back off and start to grip back up for multiple laps. Once they're angry, and you got to live with it.
And it's a problem in the open because we have, 3 10-lap stages? So if you get those tires angry on the first or second lap, you won't have time to cool them down and then catch back up and try and make your time up. So you're really going to have to be careful, especially in the open, just to try and prevent that from happening.
looks like qualifying's just about over, and Connor was saying he wasn't used to being up there. Well, he's sitting in ninth right now on qualifying, but Andrew Cole Sr., he's got the pole. I think y'all have a little experience racing around him.
Yeah, Culp's quick. He just had some bad run-ins this year that didn't let him get into the playoffs. But no, he always shows solid speed. As long as he doesn't, send it turn 1, lap 1 and push up the track too much, he should be able to keep it clean. And honestly, what is it? We have 3 10-lap stages. The winner of the first 2 stages advance automatically. So if Kolb starts up front, I say that, I think Chad just took the pole.
Chad snagged
But if
it.
like Kolb or Wiggins or whoever, if they can stay up front, they're in good shape to transfer just off those first 10 laps alone.
Well, I believe, Davey, you're a previous All-Star winner too. Am I correct on this?
No, I never won.
No. Well, I'll
Arca,
ask Bobby then. Bobby,
yeah, he won. I didn't. I died.
having the All-Star
You
win.
did die. You did die in that race. That's okay. I died just much later on in that race, but we both died.
What does it mean to you winning the All-Star race?
To win the All-Star race is really, really, really cool. I mean, it's the one race where all league members have a shot to get in And realistically, it is the all-star race. You are running against the best of the best. So, like I said, for me to win it in my rookie season in the when I was in ARCA, it meant the world to me. Now, granted, we were running the Gen 6 back then. We weren't running the next gen yet. So, with my lackluster next gen career so far, I'd love to actually be able to win this race in the actual next gen. But it's like I said, it's one of those really, really cool things that I've been able to accomplish.
Well, we started off. We're going to give a shout out to that national anthem real quick, and we'll be right back for 30 laps, 10 laps per stage to see who's going to make it to the opening. Three laps at Kentucky. We're going to do how we always do. Bobby, Dave, pick y'all's winner.
Are we talking stage winner or overall race winner? Because, I mean, it's going to be different. Whoever wins the first stage probably won't go on to win the race, right? They'll drop out.
That's true, and right now it is dropping.
This is a hard
on
one.
my end.
I'm thinking Chad Wiggins is going to win stage 1. Kolb is going to win stage 2, and then I think our top 3 is overall is going to be Nance, Nidic, and it's tough for me to say, but I think we're going to either see Isaac or Josh up there in that top 3 when it comes down to the end of it.
Right now we're ain't having anything
I
going in the favor.
am going to go
right
with
now.
Chad.
We're trying to get this calmed down. His computer is not acting right. Of course, it wants to do this.
That's all right. It could be like an MRM broadcast, and me and Davey will let everybody know what's going on while you get that sorted.
There may have to be a restart here because this is not working out very good at all.
Green flag is out. Chad Wiggins with a really good jump.
I'm going to give it to Chad for the first stage, I hope. He's a primetime guy, so I want to see him transfer.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Chad's probably one of the most likable guys in the league, so I think everybody's going to be pulling for Chad. He doesn't get to race. He doesn't get to race as much as he would like, or to be completely honest with you, as much as everybody would like, because Chad, he's quick, but he's also a very clean driver. I know I can do some real silly stuff around Chad. Chad can do some real silly stuff around me, and everybody's going to live.
Yeah, I've raced with him the past 2 seasons in Xfinity and now Cup, and he's a great dude to be around the whole time.
Absolutely. Myself and Chad came up through Xfinity and through ARCA together, and always an absolute blast to be around. As Nidic, got forced 3 wide there, it looked like, by Nance, and just barely got into the left front of Chad, but no harm, no foul. Chad slots back into 4th as we've got Mr. Kolb out front leading. A lot of jockeying for position this early, but with the shortness of these stages, this is what it breeds here, is there is no waiting and no strategy. You got to go, and you got to go now.
Yeah, there's no real trying to save tires, especially if you're trying to get that first stage done and over with and transfer. Honestly, I would just want to win the first stage and be done with it. Get the stress off.
100%. I would not want to be one of these guys that has to go through the open, because it's such a roll of the dice. No points to worry about. No tire saving. It's just go.
Now, do you think we see anybody pit in between these stages? 10 laps isn't a lot, and these tires don't wear like every other series wears, in my opinion.
They don't, and in previous years, I would say yes. At minimum, at the end of stage 2. But in previous years, we've seen guys pit between, the first stage and the second stage. I don't think we're going to see that just because of how big the field is this year. You have 27, 28 something cars that took the green flag. You're not going to be able to make up that many spots.
I could see it going a couple different ways. You could pit in that first stage and then not pit the second one. You can do it vice versa, or you can never pit. And I'm wondering if there's a different. Ooh, someone's loose. Chad's loose. He saves it.
Nice
save for the moment.
Well, and 21 around, big wreck. Ed Morris Sr. gets collected, and so does the other 8 car. I'm not exactly sure who that is. That is Sam Gordon. Unfortunately, the 3 of them are going to have their nights ended here.
Yeah, that's a really weird wreck. The 21 it had to be netcode. Although that's an extreme version of netcode that I've ever seen. He just snaps sideways.
Here, I'm coming back to take a look at
Him
it
and
right
the
now.
018 get together. I mean, they don't literally, but...
Oh, yeah, that was huge netcode, about 50 foot worth of it, but you actually see the 21 just get grenaded, absolutely grenaded off of Jacob's car like he was right on top of it. That's one of the worst.
I wasn't watching their ping, but sadly, Van Westen does have a pretty good reputation of having moments of very bad ping in the Xfinity series.
Yes,
we've seen it a lot this season. Typically, it doesn't, it hasn't hurt anybody yet. He typically stays, well out of the way. Thankfully, I'm appreciative of that. And he was honestly really far away from Jacob there, but it still jumped and hit him. Chad's pit. Probably not a bad idea. I feel like his tires have gotten hot because he's slid it a couple times. So honestly, pitting here, not awful. Maybe people pit later and he can make up some room.
Well, and this is the same idea as what we do in the Cup Series, right? With do you flip the stage or do you not? If you're in the back, maybe sometimes flipping the stage to get out in that clean air is the best idea and the best strategy for you. Yes, you may pay for it in the long run, but between the track position and just sometimes survival, because the Cup Series has been a little bit rough this season. I think we could all agree on that, with the exception of you, because you've been out front every week, and yes, I'm salty.
I would say the season started off rocky for real.
Yes,
which I think a lot of the series did. I mean, it wasn't awful, but
it has cleaned up. It has. That's one thing I was just going to say. It has cleaned up and done a total 180. Hats off, and it's not just the Cup Series. All was extremely. I'll take that one on the chin. All the guys were driving me nuts. I love every single one of them, and they've done the absolute best around and exiting that. Realistically, I think this is one of the worst ones. me, the Xfinity car is the most raceable car that we have right now. I would say that the next gen is probably the hardest car to race right now because of the tires not wearing and the air playing such a huge factor. The Xfinity car, you can pretty much get right up behind somebody and not have a single issue.
Yeah, that's one
whatsoever.
thing I miss about the Xfinity car a lot. The dirty air has above and beyond that. The shifting kind of threw me for a loop. In the next gen car, the first couple weeks of the race of the season. But yeah,
Yeah, it
the
did with me also, and then I started loving it because to me it helped you get into a rhythm.
it does, but at the same time, like I feel like if I screw up a corner, I can just downshift and go, and like it saves me, especially on short tracks. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's love hate. I admit that it's nice, but at the same time, I miss the like, if you mess up, you're gonna pay for it. You have to wind the car back up.
Brother, I'm right there with you. 100% I'm right there with you.
I do love. I don't know. I mean, I've enjoyed the next gen car a lot. I did not like the Gen 6 car. I always thought it was a really boring car to race. So when we made that switch to next gen, I was happy to get to the Cup Series and race something different because
Gen 6
I had been in the
boring
Xfinity
to
car a lot.
race. Gen
I
6
hated
boring
it.
to race. Blasphemy.
It's
Go to bed,
just
baby.
it's so easy to drive. Like there wasn't a lot of off
It's
throttle time. You
it's
just
easy
punch
to
it and go.
drive. I will give you, it is easy to drive, but to be fast over an extended period of time is not easy. And that's the thing I do really, really enjoy about the Gen 6 car. But that being said, and I think you'll even admit to this, I think I'm finally starting to figure out the next gen car, and I'm going away from I want to bury the thing in the dirt and then light it on fire to okay, I'm halfway okay with this car. We'll get there.
Yeah, I've definitely
I'm old and grumpy. It takes a little bit for me to get used to change.
I've definitely enjoyed being in it more than I thought I would. For both me and Junior, Ed Morse Jr., it was like one of the first times we'd actually been in the car a good bit, but it's been a welcome change. But thankfully, we are about to go green finally. Hopefully, we can see
Yeah.
who is that Kolb and Nance up front.
Yes, that is. That is Mr. Kolb and Mr. Nance up front. In second row is Dakota Orndorff and John Neidick in fourth.
Now, caution laps don't count in this race, so we're back. We're still on on lap 7 now. So Kolb only has to string together a couple of good laps, and he's free into the All-Star race.
Now, and I think what you were talking about earlier, if you look at our top four, they are all current Cup Series drivers. The only one
Actually, 5
that
now. Jordan Miles is
5,
up there.
Jordan Miles now battling with one of your guys, with Cedric from the Xfinity Series. Cedric making a pretty aggressive move up the middle here.
This is one of those things that I know because I don't know what like Cedric does in other leagues. I don't know if he runs this car a whole lot or if he does officials. So it's cool to see how many of these guys are actually really good in this car and they just never have been able to drive the Cup car here.
And I got to give it up to Cedric just because I am born and bred an IndyCar and USAC fan. That player scheme that Cedric has on that car brings back some good memories. That's a good looking race car right there.
It is a really good looking car. He's been in the Xfinity Series. I think this season's his second season because
Yes, it is.
we did trucks together and then we'd had Xfinity together last season. There was a whole string of French Canadians we had for a while, and then they've all just kind of fallen off or schedules changed or stuff like that. But Cedric has been one of those that's been here every week. I'm appreciative. I'm glad he's here every week. Him, I think Sylvain Galland is another one.
That
I
is
think I missed
lap
another.
10 completed. So
Yep,
Andrew
Kolb gets
Kolb
it.
has he just punched his ticket right up to the main show. So we'll be seeing Andrew a little bit later on tonight. And Jonathan Nance will inherit the lead when we go back racing, depending on pit cycles, if anybody pits here.
Honestly, I don't think I'm pitting. There's no way. These tires don't wear good enough
No,
for me to want
I
to go to
agree
the
with
back that
you.
quick.
If I'm pitting, and it's a big if, I'm pitting because we're a total of 30 green flag laps. If I even think about pitting, it is going to be in between stage 2 and 3, depending on what my track position is. If I'm sitting in first place and I know I've got a good piece under me, I'm not pitting. I'm staying out.
Yeah, this is the last thing I would want to do is get stuck back in traffic and having to work your way back up. We've talked about dirty air a lot, and it's not something I would want to have to deal with. So I'm staying out. Oh, there's more people going than I thought. Well, no, Cedric's gonna go out. Cedric is my man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep,
Give
Cedric's
me that
staying
clean air.
out. Now, the only thing that Cedric's going to have to worry about as I'm looking back,
That's
Brandon
actually
Hughes is going to
crazy.
stay
There's
out,
so many
and
people pitting.
Chad. Everyone besides Brandon Hughes in your car, you lent them your sponsorship tonight in that beautiful Jordan car. Cedric
It's
and
I'm so sad.
Chad.
Chad
And
makes sense,
Chad.
right? Because we just saw Chad pit under that
Chad
last
Pitt.
caution, and he took
Exactly.
tires and he fixed damage and got fuel. That one's not too shocking. I figured that was going to be the smart play to flip it, but now he has to, keep it, right? He has fresher tires than Cedric and Brandon, but can he use those tires and not get sideways, not, burn them up or anything like that again? Hopefully, the last time taught him a lesson, and now he knows what the car does on colder tires, and he can just go and not have to worry about spinning it.
Let's be completely honest, Chad is an extremely quick learner. So I think he is going to learn from that past mistake. Now, what I am noticing is Isaac was a few spots back. I believe he finished that deal in 7th or 8th place. He has now come out at the front of all the cars that pitted. I'm wondering if Isaac went ahead and took 2 tires, whether it was left sides or right sides. And that could be a play also, you know?
He took right sides only, no left sides, which is smart. Again, I highly doubt the wear has been that bad, and that just got him a ton of spots. Yeah, it's smart strategy. It's sound. It's that
Absolutely. I mean,
easy spot.
at the end of the day, this open is just as much about luck and strategy as it is being fast.
Yeah, I mean, because again, you don't have to be fast for 30, 40 lap fuel run. You only got to be up there for 10 laps and you're good.
Yeah, 100%. I gotta say, I talking about cars, Isaac's Mission 22 car, as always comes out with a newer looking scheme every time we see him. But that one I really, really like. That looks like something Dale Jr. would have drove if it was a Chevy.
I think
That's
it's
the type of
clever.
paint scheme.
I think it's super clever that he used, because his number's a 22, right? It's clever that he used the Mission 22 logo as his number at the same time. I think that's just
Yes.
smart.
And that's just an awesome cause also to get behind. So want to look at our rundown here. So as of right now, we're going to have Nance and Dakota, who are both obviously Cup drivers. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Cedric
Yeah,
is going to be up front, and then Brandon. So we've got 2 Xfinity drivers, then a Cup driver, then with Isaac an Xfinity driver. Got quite a bit of a toss up here on which divisions.
yeah, and then after that you have a string of 4 or so Cup drivers. So
Yep.
yeah, it's definitely a good mix. I feel like a lot of this field is made up of definitely a lot of Cup drivers. I see a bunch of truck drivers, a couple of Xfinity people.
And a few are
It has been a
not
pretty
many
good
though.
mix up. Yeah, it's been a pretty good mix of all the series in the Open so far. I'm glad people showed up for it. Now we have to see. I would love to see Cedric take this because he has had a string of his luck in Xfinity this year has not been great. Thankfully, he
Oh.
still made the playoffs, but I would like to see him bring home the stage win and get to the main All-Star race.
If I remember correctly, too, Cedric made it by the skin of his chinny chin chin. Also, he was one of those guys that we were really watching pretty closely on is he going to make it in or not.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty close call. There were a couple in that race that it came down to like all or nothing last minute deal. I mean, you know, the winner of the race, the same deal. He had to win to get in, and he wound up
Yeah,
getting.
that was an exciting finish. We'll just say that if you guys have not seen the last regular season race from the Xfinity Series at Talladega, I highly suggest you guys go back into the archives here on Southern Broadcast Racing Network and watch that race. As his car is pulling off.
Cedric's the control car. Let's see if he can get that jump he needs. If Brandon can just keep his cool and not push it too hard, I think even if he doesn't win the stage, he sits really pretty going into the last stage.
100%. Cedric got that jump. He got a great jump. And he's going to bring right along with him Chad Wiggins and Jonathan Nance right on his bumper, not too far behind him.
Now Chad and Brandon, I was just about to bring that up. Chad and Brandon are no,
Brandon, Nance.
Brandon and Chad are, you know, sister teams, right? Prime Time and North South. Well, that's gone out the door.
There's no teams in the All-Star race, son. You know that.
Rewind. Nance is not thrilled with that. Honestly, I can't blame him.
Not at all. I'm trying to see what happened there with Brandon's car, and Isaac was looking outside of him. I don't know if he took the air just far enough off Brandon's rear spoiler where it got the car upset and he had to chase it down the track.
Yeah, something happens. I don't know if Brennan just turned left too much or if it's the air from Isaac's car that gets him to go down. But he just kind of plays ping pong, bounces off Chad, and then kind of overcorrects and goes back down to the Nance and turns Nance into the wall. Collects a couple of good cars, sadly.
This is the All-Star race. It's definitely one of those win it or wear it situations. And as you saw right there, everybody's pushing for everything they got.
I really thought Nance was clean and done and he was safe until he had held his brakes, minimal damage. In the last second, Fassbender just mows him over and kills that car. Do they get fast repairs in this or no? I didn't look at that part.
Let me double check here.
I feel like no, right? Yeah, no fast repairs.
No fast repairs.
We don't do it anywhere else, so I figured no here.
Good thing for the rest of the field is caution laps are not counting, so they're going to come back to, I believe, 8 or 9 to go.
Man, that's tough. That takes out Jordan Miles got collected in that. I think Josh got poor Josh. This man cannot catch a break.
Now, Josh just says
John
thank
Neidig.
you. Josh says thank you, sir. May I have another every time he straps in the race car here in Relentless, and I'll tell you what.
Sure, he uses a couple more colorful words than that, but yes, I agree
he used to. God's honest truth, he used to. Anymore, he just goes, "Oh, okay, well that sucks. On to next week." That's pretty much. He's at the point where that's just a defeated man. But I'll tell you what, he is one of the most tenacious people I've ever met in my life, and Josh is one of my best friends. And I've told him multiple times, dude, if you're not having fun, ain't nobody gonna look down on you from not running the league. He's like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. It's like, okay, bro.
Josh is one of those that he's a super good dude. And I wouldn't want to see him go anywhere. But like that was super. That was super bad. But the good thing for him is that, like, you know, the deal with Cup is like you have to work your way there, right? Thankfully, he's already here, so even with a bad season, he doesn't have to worry about. You know, he's already in the Cup Series, right? He has his team spot. I feel like he's safe in his team position.
Oh, 100%.
So thankfully,
Josh.
he can just come back next year and hopefully have better luck the next time around.
Davey, I'll put it on record in front of the world right now. I'll fire myself before Josh Van Gore goes anywhere off of this team.
That's fair. We would all welcome that sacrifice.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much, sweetie. Listen, David.
RRLAll-Star.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'll tell you what. I love Davey to death. Davey is he's just one of those guys, man. I want to beat him so bad. And he wants to beat me so bad. We are always going to be hard-nosed competitors, pissed off at each other after almost every race, and then the next day, because we're not in the car, I consider Davey a very good friend, and there's nothing but love there. When the helmets and the chin straps get put on a little bit too tight, we may lose a few brain cells though. So,
This
but
is
that's
why I
real
don't.
racing.
This is why I can't. I don't stream because I can't. I would say some stuff, and that stuff would get me in trouble. This is
I
why
think it,
I
but
can't.
you know what? It gets me in trouble, Davey. But I'll tell you what, nobody can ever say that they don't know where they stand with me, because anything I
enough.
say on the stream, I would say to anybody else right to their face.
That's one thing I've really appreciated in this league from when we did ARCA or Gen 4 all the way to now, is that it is really competitive. Whether
Oh,
for
super.
me it was the DBRs, the Schaefers, the Banks, Ed Morris Jr., the Canadian team, and the Truck Series, like that, like it was super competitive. Like we really wanted to win.
B&H was another one.
A lot of us have moved up
B&H was
together.
another one. Unfortunately, B&H is no longer with us because of schedule conflicts with Charlie and Jared. But that was another two guys. Unbelievably hard racing between all of us in the ARCA series and in the Xfinity series. But great friends off the track. And you make sure, as long as you can separate that this is on track and this is off track, I'm all for it, man. Well, pace car lights are off. So Cedric's still out front. Chad Wiggins now moved up into that second spot. But what did I tell you? Isaac Wilson in that Mission 22 car now sitting third. I don't think he's going to want to wait around for the third stage. I think if that opportunity presents itself, he's making that move and he wants to transfer now.
Oh, for sure. I would want to get done as quick as I could. But this, like, you have to flip that. Yes, I want to win now, but if I can't catch Cedric, do I put myself in a good position to just, finish top 3 at the very end of the race? Because that's, those are pretty decent odds if you're this far up front, right?
Oh, 100%. And
but he's honestly already going below Cedric. He's making that move.
And to be honest, Isaac had all of us dead to rights last season at Montague. If it was not for that incident, he was going to make his way up into the Cup Series. It's hard contact behind them. I don't know who that was, but somebody just murdered the wall. That was Kevin Biggs. Go back and take a look at that one. Just entering in the corner, and Kevin got a call. I always call it how I see it. It looks like Alan Grindle Jr. just made it into the corner a little bit too hot, like I was talking about earlier. You miss that breaking point just a little bit, and you lose the front end on these cars, and that's exactly what looks like happened. He overdrove in the corner and lost the front end, got into the left rear, and Biggs, when those cars go like that, you do not save them. You're a passenger.
Alan, I think he's aware. He seems apologetic on the radio, so it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of hate there from Biggs. Biggs is one of those guys that's been around, oh God, since probably MDOT. I raced Xfinity with him there and trucks for a couple seasons. I was really hoping he would get himself up into that main, just see if he could get to the Cup Series a little bit quicker, because he is a really fast dude. He is great to race against.
Oh, without a doubt.
I
had asked originally because Biggs, I guess, like you said, I think you were saying, I was reading a comment of Matt roasting me in the chat as usual because I love Mr. Barrels. I gotta find out if he tested the barrels here or not tonight. But I did ask about Kevin. I said, where did this guy come from? And I was explained, he was an MDOT guy, was told nothing but good things about that driver. And just by watching him, everything I was told was 1,000% true. And it's good to have him back in the league.
Yeah, I feel like he was due an Xfinity championship, and when he was at MDOT, and he kind of got done dirty in that last race by a younger kid who used to be here. I know he's a good driver, I know he's respectful. Never said anything bad about us, even though, got some drama in chat. Never said anything bad about the league or anything. just had a real life deal he went to go do. But I am thankful he's come back. He's always enjoyed a race around.
I think he's definitely one we're going to end up seeing up in the Cup Series rather quickly.
I would think Chad's pitting again. All right, that's not what I would have done. I think I'd have stayed out. I mean, again, if people pit, I think Cedric's going to be the example here. Cedric can pull this off and win this stage, not taking any tires, or even Isaac with 2 tires, right? Maybe that changes how people treat that last stage. Maybe we don't see as many people pit, or we see more people take 2 tires. So Chad pit could hurt, but I don't think it's going to be the same result as we got last time.
Again, though, we have a lot of guys that I don't think spend a lot of time in these cars. So you think about our experiences in ARCA or Xfinity, you always want to keep those fresh tires on the car because they mean that much. So I think with as many guys from the lower series that are behind Chad is banking on everybody coming down and pitting and him being able to flip that stage. And on top of that, when he does do that, his tires are already going to be up to temperature. He's not going to have to wait those 2 laps for the tires to finally fire off and have full grip.
These short runs. I mean, we've seen a next gen even at I think Forns talked about it a lot at the end of last season. I don't think he took tires hardly at all at Watkins Glen last season.
He didn't. He did not for my dad's memorial race. He did not. Yep, he did not.
And then even I've seen a couple times this season on the last pit stops and races. I've taken 2 tires and the car has still been fantastic. So I mean, that is a very interesting thing in these cars. 2 tires works a lot of the time.
I think actually this season, I know for a fact that at Daytona, we only took 1 set. That was it. I took my only set of tires at the first stage. After that, it was fuel and go. Because the tires just didn't wear.
We spent, comparing times at the end of that first run on, compared to how they were at the beginning, and there was never really big drop off. So I don't think we took tires much after that either. I mean, even at Pocono this season, I only took 2 tires in the last stop, and my car was just as fast as it had been on 4 tires, and it saved me a heck of a lot of time on pit road.
Yes, it did. It saved you a ton of time on pit road.
These cars just run a lot differently than what I would expect, and I've learned it the hard way at road courses in other leagues, right? Taking 4 tires on every stop and then just getting absolutely destroyed on time because the tires just never make up the time.
We should absolutely call this the Joe Robert car because he doesn't want tires to wear at all ever.
Joe might be a fast man in these cars if he gets the cup.
I'm telling you. Well, pace car is back in. Isaac's laying back. Very interesting. I hope he doesn't get a black flag here.
I feel like he's just being cautious, making sure he doesn't get, penalized for being out front or jumping or anything like that. That's bit me in the butt before, so I understand that a lot.
Yep, 100%. It's bit me. I think it's bit most of us. Green flag's back out. Cedric with a great jump. Dakota's going to be going in side by side with Isaac into 1 and 2. Isaac's going to fight back on that top side, have that momentum.
Oh God!
And death. We're just going to wreck. We're going to die. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, there it is.
We're going to die.
Man, these guys are driving awfully close for, having the whole stage still.
Coming back
that
and
was
look
a
here.
Hard lick for Isaac.
Yes, it was.
That's again, it's the next gen, right? Once these things get sideways, you just kind of have to turn left and lock them down. It's really hard to turn right and save these cars without it snapping back.
And I gotta call that as I see it. Dakota did come up, but Isaac was loose prior to that, and Isaac started coming back down the track a little bit. Just 2 guys racing really, really hard. To me, probably racing, and Davey, you could tell me I'm wrong, but I think racing a little bit too hard, to be honest with you, at this point. I could see if, we were 2 laps left in this stage or 2 laps left in, the final stage, but only to be on lap 13 running that hard. Just it doesn't seem like the right move, and we saw the consequences of it right there.
Yeah, I think Isaac's car just does get a tad bit loose when he comes down, but it is. I mean, I think Dakota was just trying to make the corner like normal. I don't think he did anything super crazy there. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I get the racing hard deal because there's only so many laps you have. But if I'm running this, the way I'm looking at it is that even if I can't beat Cedric, I'll let Dakota go or I'll let Isaac go or whoever, and then I'm in the top 3 sitting pretty for that last stage. I would
Exactly.
take my chances with that. Dakota came out pretty good there. I don't think he lost much of anything and got very little damage. Isaac, however, is not going to recover. There's no way. That's a lot of
No,
damage to the car.
somebody get Isaac a hot dog and a medic.
Who was it that kind of spun avoiding? There you go. Tom Wizza. Ah, poor guy.
Tom Wiese.
Wizza. He checked up in time. He just kind of got run over from behind, and then worse is that after he got spun, somebody came around and tore off his front bumper. So maybe think these next gen. God, bush luck continues. That's fair. Thankfully, in these cars, that they take damage, but they repair really well.
Yes,
So
they do.
maybe if he has some time, he can get that nose back on it and
Well,
still be competitive.
as of right now, just looking in the pits, the pit crew is working on it. They have the bumper back on it.
Nose
I
is back.
don't know if he still he does not still have a meatball. So he's going to be exiting the pits right now to get out in front of the pace car.
He did have a meatball.
And I believe he did.
So I didn't see any. He didn't get hit in the tires or anything. So I don't think he has any. Was it tie rod damage? And that's
Yep.
typically the thing in this car that kills them the most. Like if you can avoid getting hit in the tires, body damage is whatever. You can usually recover semi decently from that. But if those tie rods get hit, that's a lot of damage, and the car just never acts the same after that.
Except when you're Davey Hendricks at Daytona and you randomly get the front bumper blown off the car for
I
really
am
no
so
reason.
thankful that
And
that happened in a Coke race to Casey Kerwin, and not just me, because I was a little bit salty that it happened to me, and then everyone gave me
Davey,
crap that it was a Toyota, and then it happened to Casey, and he was in a Chevy, and I was like, sweet, it's not just me, it's not just
I'm
Toyota.
not gonna lie, I was sitting on my couch watching that race with a beer in my hand, and when that happened, I literally jumped up and went, Davey!
And honestly, I didn't think it was that. 9:55 is when. Okay, we got time. So the main qualifying starts at 9:55, so we have plenty of time for this race still. Honestly, I didn't. It was just such a crazy wreck because the car just immediately wanted to stop when that bumper came off. I figured, if I was behind somebody drafting, it'd be fine. No, the car just would
Oh,
not go anywhere after that.
no, it would not.
It was terrible.
The Daytona 500 and Cup this year was an adventure. That is for sure. It was an adventure.
I
There
love
was
that.
one
I
point
know what
where
you're
I
talking
had
about.
to. Oh, I know you loved it. You weren't dodging 3/4 of the field on the front stretch through the infield.
No, instead I was spinning my teammate on in the last 5 laps and killing him.
Yep,
I spent my race differently.
you're just a horrible person. How
Oh
dare you?
God, it was
Insert
terrible.
Greta Thunberg
And
here.
then I had the
How dare
audacity to
you?
luck into the wind after that. Jesus.
Yes, you spun
Poor
him right
Lawrence.
in front of me too, if I
Uh,
remember correctly.
that was a heck of a finish because there was a lot of wrecks happening
Oh, there was.
on that last lap.
I came across the line sideways off the. How do I put this so it doesn't make it sound like Greg spun me? Because he didn't. I had already spun, and Greg knocked me across the start finish line at Mach Jesus.
I'm waiting for these cars to get that blowover mechanic because I feel like at every race we go to in real life, one of these cars has a blowover and flips. Whether it's
Oh,
something as tame
hands
as
down.
Harrison Burton's the first year was tame, but then you go to like Ryan Priest's and it's one of the most violent wrecks I've ever seen. These cars blow
No,
over a lot. I'm thankful the truck's
no.
got it because it's fun to watch.
Knowing
Personally,
Ryan in real life, that wreck scared the ever living hell out of me. Somebody actually made a comment not knowing in here, and I may or may not have ripped their head off, and the apologies came, and then I felt like a prick and had to apologize. But pace car is back off. Dakota and Cedric line up on the front row. We'll see how Cedric can do this time on the jump. Yet again, another great jump. Cedric has been on the ball with these restarts.
Yeah, it's nice when being that lead car because in general, it doesn't matter whether you start inside or outside, you're going to have a clean car or a clean line going into turn 1, because the guy beside you is never going to get the same jump as you are.
No, not at all.
Who is that? Is that Brady J.
That is
Price?
Brady. That is a
Right.
Brady J. Price, ladies and gentlemen.
You go, Brady.
Making moves. Dakota with that run around the outside, though, and our race sponsor, Connor Darnell, sitting in fourth, just licking his chops right now. Got a pretty decent amount of separation.
Brady kind of sitting that into one, and that's going to cost him heavily coming off that corner. Cedric, though, is just chilling. I mean, those no tires are still working out pretty well.
Gonna be
Dakota sideways. Oh, does he save it? What a save! He lost some time.
A save.
Oh God, no, that was more wrecking him back. We're straight, but that didn't work out for everybody.
I would not want to be in Greg Rogers' team chat right now because I'm sure the explicitives are flying from Dakota.
That's one of those things is that he's been in this car as long as we have, right? The whole season.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he's able to save it. You saw someone maybe like Biggs who got knocked sideways and just got, went too far, but Dakota thankfully keeps his car under him. Maybe he can come back in the last stage and get it.
And that was the weirdest thing for me, coming from real life racing and every other car on the sim, on how to save a race car. These cars are the exact opposite.
Next gen in general?
Next gen in general is just exact opposite. You cannot... There is a very fine line of where you can drive out of a slide and when you cannot, and I could not wrap my head around it for the longest time.
Yeah, usually if I'm getting sideways, I'm just going to try and lock it down. I don't want a chance. I'd rather turn left, spin, and collect it under caution than turning right and destroying me and probably 4 other people.
Hard for somebody like me. 20 years I've always been taught, when in doubt, throttle out. That does not work in these cars.
Not the same. What we got? We're coming down to we're on the last lap now. Cedric is sailing away. Brady's still holding on strong in second. Connor is putting it on him though. He's blinking a little bit, but I think he might be a little bit faster than Brady if he can get around him.
And here again, I don't think we're going to see Connor push the issue too much because, right here, Cedric is going to transfer into the main show. But where Connor's in a very, very comfortable position because the next checkered flag, top 3 transfer, you do not have to win that last stage.
Yeah, I'm with Connor there. I mean, yeah, I think he was faster, but why bother? There was no chance to catch Cedric. Keep your car under you, keep it in one piece. Now the trick is, do you pit? And judging by how far away Cedric was from everybody, I am not pitting under this caution.
No, absolutely not. And unfortunately, the person that's going to hurt is our buddy Chad. Because Chad, for his strategy to work out, he needs, 1,000% needs to have guys pit here. He is currently in the 9th position, which, if no one pits, will turn into the 8th position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, everyone has their own ordeal. Maybe someone killed the right front during this run and they want a fresh set. Who knows? But if I am in this spot right now, after seeing what Cedric just did to me, I don't see a reason to go get some tires. I don't want to spend, 4 or 5 laps warming up the tires again just to have to...
It looks like they're all going to make liars out of us because it looks like everybody is coming down, including Chad.
Nope. Oh, we go. See, now
there's Cup guys.
This is interesting. They're all Cup guys.
There's the Cup guys knowing what's going on here. So we have Nance, Gervy, Nance, Chad, Fastbender, and Dakota Orndorff. 5 cars stayed out. All 5 are next gen drivers full time.
I do, yeah. If this is me, I don't see a reason. And I think all these guys are real smart. First, on top of the fact that I don't think the tires did a whole lot. They were all pretty far back. So if they would have pit there, they would have had to work their way up through the field. And I'd rather take my chances being up here for these last 10 laps.
100%. I mean, look at the group that we have here. I mean, they've been racing around each other all season long. I think they realize they can all trust each other. Now, that being said, how aggressive will the guys that are on the outside looking in get? That's the caveat to that.
Let's see. Brady took 4. The 42. Well, at least his car says the 42 on it. Who is that? Preedy? Preedy. Took 2.
Preedy.
Maybe Connor took 2. Yeah, I don't know. If I feel like Brady is a pretty aggressive driver. So if anyone is going to push their way through this, being this far back, I think it's him.
100%. I'd have to agree with that.
Again, he has the freshest tires. Maybe that means he can push it a little bit harder. But is that going to come at the detriment of someone else and cause them to get hit?
And Brady, I love you dearly, bud. You know that, but you run legend cars now, so you've learned the art of using the bumper, unfortunately, like we all did when we ran legend cars. So I think you're definitely going to see him. He's not going to be afraid to move somebody out of the way here, especially to make it to that show.
Yeah, he's sitting what?
It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
8th,
ninth place.
Yeah, so he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Another big thing in these cars, which you hear about it all the time in real life. The drivers always complain about restarts being so hectic. But I mean, honestly, now that and I'm not equating this to real life in the least bit, but in real life they complain about restarts are so hectic, and you see the 3, 4, 5 wide at some tracks because you have to get all you can get at the beginning because of dirty air and because of how hard it is to pass. So I mean, in this game, it feels the exact same to me. Like you have to get everything that you can as quick as you can, because once we single file out, it's hard a lot of times to get around somebody. So I mean, but if you're an aggressive driver like Brady, that works to your benefit, right? Ross Chastain it.
100%.
Get through the pack as quick as you can.
But Davey, I will tell you this from again 20 years of doing it in real life. Yes, it's a game and the cars are not real and it doesn't hurt most of the time unless you're an idiot and run major league force feedback like I do. When you hit the wall, the competition is just as real. Let me tell you something.
Well, I believe I mean, whether it's the Discord chats or the in-game chats, you can tell people. I mean, because we spend a decent amount of money on this game between rigs and tracks and cars and steering wheels and whatever else, button boxes, lights. So I mean, like there's a decent amount of money put into this. So I mean, I get why people get so upset when things don't go their way, because I spent hours during the week practicing and getting laps back or getting practice laps in for some maybe not brilliant move that caused me to be out on lap 5 or 6. So I get it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, lights are off the pace car right now, Davey. Who you got for your top 3?
Fastbender worries me because he's got some good damage on that left front, honestly. I didn't know that until just now. My top 3, Nance, Chad, Dakota.
That's the exact top 3 that I was thinking.
Not Dakota. Fastbender's damage worries me. If he had a clean car, I think I'd put him in there. Gervy has a history of getting a little bit loose in corners, so I worry about him getting through the corners clean. But he just kicked the crap out of me in a truck race the other day, so we'll see what he does on this last little kick.
Person I'm not seeing out there, unless I'm blind. Oh no, I do not see Mr. Darnell out there.
Now he's right in front of Brady.
Ah, there he is. Okay, I am blind. Like I said, I'm old and grumpy.
Fair enough. Again, if I'm Nance, I am not looking out of my rear view. I am just sending it.
Oh.
because you know at this point you have a good chance of making it just with clean laps.
Chad was a bumper to Gervie
Yeah,
there.
that was a good send. Gervie, by no fault of his own, gets pushed out of the way. Now Chad goes into second. Dakota's going to follow him. Again, I think Fassbender's damage just hurting him. Oh, Gervie and Fassbender get together. Oh, wow. What kind of...
You got one over. There's your blowover for you right there. Kind of ish. Poor Gervie ended up on his lid.
Honestly, that wreck would not have been as bad, but the 37 somehow gets netcoded through the 42 from the 7, and that makes that wreck a lot worse than it was going to be. That was kind of... Netcode's been weird tonight.
Jeremy's going to laugh when I say this. iRacing, fix your netcode. I've only been screaming it for 13 years.
I get it has to be some, right? We're all on different internet speeds, but that was just like that first wreck. That was atrocious.
They need to fix their settings.
They need to fix a lot of things. Yeah, that looked like, going back and looking at that, it looked like the 37 hit a wall that was not there. That is unbelievably odd.
Yeah, I feel like so Fassbender comes up a little bit, but I think he thought Gervie was going to be a little bit closer to the wall. I mean, Gervie had some room, but not a whole lot. I just feel like it's two guys going for the same space, just not really knowing where the other person's going to stop the car at.
Absolutely, and I think that's what drove them up to the wall. Was the initial contact was way down, and I think at that point, I think Fassbender's just along for the ride because he's turning across the front of Gervie's car. Obviously not intentional by either one of them, but just unfortunately one, like you said, two guys going for the same spot. It's one of those racing deals. It's unfortunate, but it just one of those deals.
Honestly, the 37 would have been through that wreck clean and clear with no issues had it not been for that netcode. The 42 might have been able to slow down in time, and I think the 51 was probably in that regardless, but poor Allen, innocent bystander, was going to be clear and easy through that wreck, but netcode kind of bit him.
So I'll give it to Isaac. I just noticed Isaac, multiple laps down, still out there and still trucking. I got to give him credit for that one.
He's much better than I am. I'd have been like, cool, I'm done, wrecked, out.
Yep, I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to go sit on the couch, drink a beer, and pet the dog.
He is 7 laps down. Yeah, that's tough.
That being said, though, with the attrition rate that we've had here, Davey, he needs a few more cars to wreck out and possibly still be in it.
That'd be a heck of a way to transfer off of just straight up cars dying.
Make it the word of the night. That's that tenacity we're talking about with Josh Van Gore. Same type of tenacity right there. I'm not dead yet. Cue up Monty Python. Come on and fight me. Your blood's off. It's not. It's a flesh wound.
If it's a points race, I'm probably going to stay in it. I think in the 3 or 4 races I died this year, I stayed out. Like I was laps down, but I still wound up gaining like 7, 8, 9 spots in each of the races. I was kind of knocked out of contention. But if it's points, I'm staying in it. Unless my car is dead. I want as many points as I can get. Because at the end of a season, those 1-2 points matter.
They did not help your 120-point butt kicking of the rest of the Cup field, David. That was sealed weeks prior.
You don't know how a season's going to go, right? So I will use every benefit I have to get as many points as I have.
I will 1,000% give it to you, but I'm telling you right now, you could have not showed up for 3 races and still won the championship, my guy.
Honestly, it was bonus points. I think that was the killer this season that I got. I had like twice as many bonus points from stages and stuff than
that's
the next
only
person,
reason.
Which is why my sleep was so insane.
That's the only reason I made it into playoffs as well, Davey. With the way my season went, what saved me, take the Dover win out. Even without the Dover win, stage points were going to lock me in on points. So 100% I get where you're coming from.
And then
Those bonus
all that
points
hard
are
work,
huge.
all those bonus points gone. Doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't
Back
matter
down,
anymore.
back down even. All that. What's the point of trying in the regular season? I could have just won the 500 and coasted the rest of the season. But no, I stressed out the whole time.
Tony's gonna fry the both of us for saying this because I know you agree with me, but you won the actual championship because you and me are a lot alike when it comes to that.
That's a stretch. I mean, I've never been a big fan of playoffs. I feel like I complained about it all the time. I don't like it coming down to like one final race, but I
Agreed.
get it, right? I understand why it's so interesting in that last race to have 4 people all vying for the championship, all having a chance. So I
It's
get it.
entertainment.
It
It's
does make
entertainment.
the game races a whole lot more interesting.
Yep, it's entertainment. It makes it cool for the fans and makes the drivers pull their hair out, which is even better for the fans.
Oh God, that last race. What is ours this year? Chicagoland?
Yeah, I'm not even showing up. I could be in the final four and I'm not even showing up. I was
Great track,
4/10
but
off.
I'm just like it'll be interesting to see, how it goes. You never know how that last race is going to go. Maybe I
It
get wrecked out, and then that's it. That's the season wind up.
we all got to
And
worry about Ed Morris if he's in the final four because his fuel strategy play in the league versus league
bro, it was good.
was beautiful. But pace car is back off. Jonathan Nance is going to lead the field with Chad Wiggins starting P2. Let's see how this plays out.
Come on. Oh, Chad's sleeping.
Phenomenal,
Not a good jump, Chad.
phenomenal jump by Nansen. Yeah, Chad was in Margaritaville somewhere there.
He
He's
is.
gonna lose wholesale spots here with
But
Darnell underneath him.
I have noticed on all these restarts, the outside does get a really good run off of 2. So maybe he can use an attitude advantage and at least stay in the top 3.
And it looks like almost, but Connor did not overdrive that corner, but is still. Yep, Chad clears.
Oh man.
Chad clears, going to make the move under Dakota. That was aggressive.
Yeah, it was. Dakota tried to block it, but it was just a little bit too late. Had he have kept going, there'd have been, a massive wreck. And then we go back to, it's top 3 that moves on. So, Brady's gonna kill Connor. Oh.
We're still dying. Caution's out. And I was just about to sing Brady's praises of look who's up in the top 5. Can't say I cursed him. I didn't say it.
Didn't say it out loud.
Didn't say it out loud.
It was
so it's not a
definitely
curse.
dirty air. He just pushed straight into the wall.
Yes, he did. And poor Connor with nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was bad. I think Connor had a good chance to make that.
Connor became part of the wall with that impact. Let's see. Mr. Darnell hit that wall doing 167 miles an hour, and at point of contact jumped right down to 142. So that was a big hit.
Brady, I think honestly Brady probably could have saved that, but it just comes down to that, like inexperience in the car, right? Like he
100%.
overcorrects it, it goes back the other direction, and then it's just, back and forth trying to stall on the wheel.
I would bet dollars to donuts that Brady, as soon as that happened, stood on the loud pedal because, again, he's running real cars right now, and that's set in his mind of that's how you save a car is you stand in the gas and you drive out of it. And I could almost bet you dollars to donuts that that's exactly what he did, and that's what ended up biting him there.
Well, my 3 finishers are in the top 3.
Yep.
But again, there's a lot of attrition going on right now. William Peters, is he a truck or ARCA driver?
Peters, I believe,
is he Xfinity? There's no way.
Oh.
I know Sam. Sam is an Xfinity guy. He's north-south.
We're looking ARCA standings right now, and we're going to get down to the bottom of this. Do not see Mr. Peters in the ARCA standings, so I'm assuming he is a Tuesday night truck driver.
I'm looking.
Don't see him in truck either. He may be one of the guys. Maybe could he be one of the guys on our waiting list right now that runs on Sundays with us in the Fun Series?
Yeah, it could be because it's not a
Or
name that
or
I've seen a whole lot.
Yeah, or I could just be old again and looked right at it in the ARCA standings and completely missed it.
Yeah, you are correct, sir. You are.
There it
He
is.
is currently 11th in the playoff standings, going for
There we go.
Arca.
Yep, old, melting.
Old.
It's too hot. Give me more
Yeah, I
racing
feel
driver excuses.
he is a Shenandoah Valley, so he's a Greg Rogers guy, right? That's Greg's team,
Yes.
Shenandoah Valley. Is that a
Yes, it
band or something?
is. I'm not 100% sure.
I feel like this is something. I feel like I've looked into this.
Shenandoah is a band.
See, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for being 78 years old. I appreciate that. I needed someone to tell me.
Jeremy, you take that. You take that, Jeremy. I'll put him in the
Anytime.
wall for you. Jeremy, I'll put him in the
around
wall
there with
for you next
CCR.
week. I'll put him in the wall next week and I'll scream, "This is for Jeremy" on my stream so he knows where it came from.
We'll get a good song to play for it when you do it from them.
You know I'll do it. Don't
That's
test the
perfect.
gangster. You know I'll do it.
I feel like I've not heard like any of their songs that I know of, but I feel like I've looked in. Nance taking the outside. Okay, smart. Like I said, you get the jump and you have a good run.
And you're going to have that better arc down into the
Yeah.
corner also. And you look at who's on his inside. If I was going to do that with anybody, it would be with Chad because I know Chad's not going to kill me going into the corner, especially with what's at stake. And he knows he's pretty good where he's sitting right now also. I can almost guarantee you will not see Chad unless it's Nance makes the hole 50-foot wide. I don't think you're going to even see Chad try to make a move. I think you're going to see Chad just follow right in Nance's tire tracks and make it to the main show.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say tire tracks because dirty air, but I get it, right? Like he's going to, or at least for me, I feel like in Chad's spot, I'm probably looking out of my rear view more than the front, just because again, like you said, we don't need to win in this case. We just need that top 3, transfer over, and call it a day. Now, I've not seen William Peters race much, and I've obviously never seen him run a next gen car. I don't know how great he is at running these cars. But I know Nance is quick, Chad is quick, Fastbender quick, however, does have damage. And then Brady. Didn't Brady just close
Brady is
that
your
caution?
wild.
That's crazy that he's
Yes.
still up here. Okay, well, yeah,
Brady,
Brady's the wild card.
Brady's your wild card right now because Brady will throw haymakers.
He just got to be a little bit more careful coming off those corners, just to not push into the wall again.
Green flag is out.
Was this a five lap shootout or so?
Yep, 5-lap shootout. And looks like the 3 cup drivers, well, Fastbender's going to make me a liar. I was going to say it looked like they were going to line up, but John is not going to be able to get down in that hole because it got filled rather quickly as the 51 goes around.
That was tough. That was hard. Jacob just absolutely destroys him.
Ooh, it was Jacob. Can I get another picture of Jacob 15 foot in the air like North Wilkesboro again?
Trito. The poor man doesn't even really have time to get off the gas. I can't call it an ARCA brake because he never touched the brake.
No, he did not.
He just turns. Oh, poor. The 51 has gotten caught up in every wreck tonight. I feel like Jesus.
You remember when we were kids, the movie Aladdin, where the parrot goes flying into the wall and all he goes is, "What? It's gonna hurt." That was
Yep.
Jacob right there.
Poor guy. What's his front of his car look like? No bumper. So again, but maybe he can fix it enough to come back out here. Honestly, with all the cautions we've had, Fastbender might have had time to fix the car and come back up through the pack with how many people who are dying in this race.
Yeah, but at the same point, why are you gonna? If I'm John, and I'm seeing the way this is going, I'm staying up front and praying to God at this point. I'll take this half a lap caution all the way through as long as I stay in third.
I mean, Sadly, the
Eddie
caution laps
makes me a
don't
liar
count.
again. He
Do we-
makes me a liar again. John's going down pit road.
Do we have green,
Well,
white
that-
checkers in this race?
I don't believe so. We may. I can't remember if they had green, white checkers in the Open last year or not, to be honest with you.
Info does not tell me.
Does not tell you, no.
Well, man. Well, Jacob
Mr.
didn't hit.
Mr.
He has no
Forms.
bumper.
Mr. Forms says that Shenandoah Valley is a geographical location in Virginia. Number one, Matt, way too many big words in that for me right now.
But okay, it might be a valley. But is it? I thought did he? It's a band. I know it. Jeremy said it was a band. I believe Jeremy. But
It
Matt's
could
probably also
be a
right.
It's
band.
both,
It could
actually.
be a band named after said, I'll use big words,
Shenandoah Valley.
geographical location in Virginia.
Shenandoah
in
is a
Virginia.
band, but there is also a area up in Virginia called Shenandoah Valley.
Are they from Shenandoah Valley? They can't not be from Shenandoah Valley to be called Shenandoah Valley, right?
You know what? Let's Google
Wikipedia.
it.
Yes, pull up the old Google machine.
Now, I just want to put this out there. It is 9:42 Eastern. What did Tony say? 9:45 or 55?
55.
So caution laps aren't counting, sadly. So they have about 10, just about 10 minutes to get done with this race, out and into the next server, just in time to qualify.
And you know how the servers are. I'll guarantee you the weather conditions are going to be nothing like they are in here.
Yeah.
So these guys are going to be at a pretty big disadvantage.
But how long is the open? Or the main, I
Got
should say.
13 minutes before qualified.
The main, I believe, is a pretty long race. I'm trying to scroll up through the 10 million Discord channels that we have. Hashtag admin issues.
All-Star format. Stage 1 and 2 will be 30 laps. Stage 3 will be a 40-lap shootout.
Yeah.
I do want to
100
bring it to your
laps.
attention that caution laps do not count in that race either.
Oh, buckle in, boys. It's gonna be a long night. I'm gonna have to get some overtime pay out of Jeremy for this one.
I'm gonna go grab some drinks in between because again, hopefully the next race is not as caution filled, but it is unfortunate that caution laps don't count. I appreciate Forns for bringing that up because I never would have looked at it.
Grab me a Matt. I'm sorry, Matt just broke my brain. Davey, you got a bigger brain than I do. What did he just say? Monosyllably? I can't even say
Yes, he's going to break it down for you.
Yeah, less syllables.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, he's going to talk to you like
And of course,
Joe
he
Biden's
has to
wife
use.
does.
He uses the word with so many syllables to tell you less syllables. That's just English.
That hurt my brain. Okay. I need Matt. I need some race fuel to read all that.
Honestly, I couldn't say that without stuttering. I can't. My brain can't.
Yeah,
There's too many L's.
It was
L's
100
and I's
degrees in
get
my.
me.
It was 100 degrees in my office today. I was melting. I can't brain that much right now.
Oh, we're on summer break. I just, watch TV.
Monosyllabically.
Watch some of The Rookie. Watch The Acolyte again.
I will speak like a beep for you. Thank you very much. That's much more betterist, Matt.
And that word there is Neanderthal.
See, Jeremy got that one.
I can actually
think
say
that's
that
the
other
PG
word.
version.
Wreck
bad, win good. Yes.
Thanks, Gronk.
Green means go. Yellow means go faster. Checkered means wreck Matt into barrels. Got it.
So we're down to 4 to go.
6.
Nance is the control car. Nance can just send it and just watch the chaos behind him.
We're at 6. Remember, cautions ain't counting.
We're coming to 26, right?
Yes, we are coming to lap 26. Yep.
If I'm Chad, I'm not going to lie. They're both, Chad is prime time. Brady is north-south. I'm sweating with Brady behind me. I know he likes to send it.
Yep, but Chad was able to clear William Peters, so he may have himself a little bit of breathing room here.
Again, all he has to do is just kind of relax and, oh god, not hit the wall.
I was going to say, not do what he just did, Davey. Not do what he just did.
Oh, Sam pushes up. But Fassbender avoids, thankfully.
Brady's making the run for it.
Fassbender did get that car fixed, so if he can get green flag laps, there's a really good chance he could get up there. Chad, that was brave. God, he cut off that man's nose.
Yeah. And Peters is being aggressive, which, 100%.
You have to.
Go for it. Dakota Orndorff back up into the conversation here.
3 and 4 is hard to make that with how narrow that corner is or how tight it is. The high side's harder to work there. Works great in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 not as much.
3 wide for this third spot.
And Dakota's sending it on that outside lane. He's going to have a great run. The problem is he's going to get stuck behind somebody.
Dakota, by personal experience, Dakota is not afraid to send that car anywhere on the track. Chad and Peters door banging a little bit. Dakota riding the wall.
Now look at Fassbender coming up in 4th. He's going to be...
Look at Isaac. Look at Isaac multiple laps
out of nowhere,
down.
these two come. I'm glad John got his car fixed because I feel like he is definitely quick enough to get up there. William Peters get loose. Fassbender checks up for him a little bit.
Coming to the white flag here. You see how aggressive
these
Chad gets spun off Williams' nose.
You didn't have to do that.
Chad said, I'm just going to do this lap backwards.
This is... calm down, Kyle Busch. Dang.
And we do have 2 green-white checkers. We do have 2 green-white checkers to answer your question.
I would say there was definitely netcode there. Like they were tight. It's not as bad as netcode has been, but they didn't actually touch. But Peters just kind of sent it low, and I think Chad moved down just a tad bit late to get there.
Yep.
I mean, it was aggressive from Peters, but again, there's 2 to go.
Yeah,
I'm not going to check up for you at this point.
No, two to go. It's aggressive by the both of them. Peter says, I'm going in that hole. Chad shut the door, and unfortunately, Peter's had half his body in there already.
Is that Is Nance pitting? Why?
Yes, he did.
Did I miss something?
Did Nance pit any other time during this race? I'm wondering about fuel here. How many laps could they go on fuel?
We've had so many caution laps, but none of them counted.
And none count, so none count, so it shouldn't take fuel. So no, he should have been all right.
It's still going to burn the fuel down, so you're having to run 2 extra laps.
When you're under caution, and I know this from the dirt side, when you're under caution, it doesn't take fuel. And estimated fuel, I just hopped in the car real quick. Estimated fuel is 45.8, so they should have been able to make it on fuel without pitting, period. So I'm kind of perplexed on why Nance pit there.
That's something up front that he didn't like.
Oh, that is a head scratcher.
Roswell said he's got 14 laps left, but he won stage 2.
And he didn't pit that first stage. Well, I mean, we've ran.
Oh, he may have been that tight on fuel. Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it is, because he had an easy way into the main.
That being said, Nance bolted on 2 fresh tires.
Yeah,
he bolted on right sides. I wouldn't count Nance out just yet.
There's Cedric. 4 minutes before main quali. These guys need to step on it. Like, we're getting down to the
Yeah, down to the
last minute
wire.
here. Yeah, you guys might not be able to make it into the open even if with the top 3.
And Tony just announced it. Yeah, Tony just announced it. Next flag will end it. Checkered or caution. Next flag will end this so we can get the top 3 into the All-Star.
Yeah, if whenever that next flag flies, I'm asking, am I good? And I'm Alt F4ing immediately. I'm not stopping the car or nothing.
100%.
I mean, for me, it takes me a minute to like get out of my rig, walk over to the computer because I do the VR stuff. It takes a minute to get into a new server. So
I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. I love VR. I'll tell you what, Davey, I am so torn between going when I do my new build with my new PC, if I go triples or if I go and take the plunge and get another VR headset. The only reason I'm not using this one now is that VR headset took a you know what, and the computer can't handle it anymore.
I don't know. I would feel like if I went back to triples, or if I went to triples because I've never had them, I feel like I would just feel so far away from the car. I wouldn't enjoy it. I like being like in VR. You're right there. I can't.
From somebody that's gone from single to VR, back to single, back to VR, now back to single again. The first few weeks is just painful, but you do get reacclimated to it.
That being said, I think Windows is about to brick my VR headset. I had to turn off updates so that they wouldn't kill it.
Hopefully this will end up quick enough for us to get in there ourselves. If not, we may have to cut this one short.
I forgot. Oh, wait, but can't we just like withdraw now and then go join?
I'm gonna try right now and see if it happens. If it doesn't work, you guys are calling the finish. It says sim still running, so no, it will not let me.
Can't join. Oh, yeah. Well, the good thing is, I'm broadcasting this, and so I can just slide over real quick. It's easier. Well, one of my 3 are still up here. Let's go, Dakota. Don't call me a complete liar. But pace car's off. We'll try it again. This last little bit. I think Peters leads it with Fastbender and Dakota up front. Top 3.
Peters with a real good jump.
Yeah,
Gonna bring Dakota along with him. Nance did not go anywhere on that start. I have a feeling Nance may have engine damage.
His front end is like a 90-degree angle. It is completely flat. I think he got caught up in some mess after he fixed the car.
Brady and Sam fighting hard for that third and final transfer spot. Caution is out. Top 3. Top 3 is going to be
William, Dakota, and Orndorff.
Dakota and Sundstrom.
Now we all have to hustle to the next one.
I'm going to say we're going to go to commercial breaks, and we'll be right back for the main event. All right, I think we made it. Bobby, you made it. Jacob's joining us. Let's go around. We may have Davey periodically in and out with us. I'm going to say we cut this one pretty close.
Just about as close as you can get it.
Hernandez is on the pole. 33
Tie
cars.
for the pole between him and Sean Pointer, and then a thousandth back, Scott Stewart. So we got a Cup driver, a Xfinity driver, and 2 ARCA drivers, and another Cup driver, and Zach Bucher for your top 5. That's the coolest thing about this series is you see the parity in the series, especially when it comes to the speeds that everyone can go.
Well, if you go down through there and look, you can see how some of the numbers are ranging in the 100s, 200s, 300s, 400s. The reason of that is, for everybody out there, and they keep their original numbers. Xfinity drivers are in 100s. Trucks are in 200s, and ARCA are running the 300s. And everybody who got in through the open will be running a 400. Stage breaks are going to be 31, or stage 1 is going to be 30, stage 2 is going to be 60, and then it's going to be a 40 lap shootout to the end.
Oh, don't do that.
Gotcha.
We're good.
I'm getting real itchy to hit that grid button. I'm not gonna lie. Just to take a
I am
couple
not.
laps.
I have enjoyed being off these 2 weeks. I haven't fired off. I haven't even been on my rig once in the past couple weeks.
The rest of the cup field's gonna crucify me for this. But suggestion, Davey, since the update, the cup cars have changed it a little bit. I would highly suggest it.
What'd they do?
The cars, as of right now, definitely have a little bit more feel to them. The sidewall works a little bit more than it used to. It doesn't feel as much of a skateboard anymore.
Okay, cool.
So
Well,
they changed them for the good, 100%.
We're at Richmond for the first race back, right?
Yes, we are.
Love short tracks. My favorite.
Oh, I love them too. I just I'm
I
hoping
can't-
my I'm
Girl.
hoping my Richmond doesn't go the same way it did at the start of the second stage last season. Ethan.
What were y'all feeling
I-
about that open race? It's pretty rough there near the end, I will say.
There's
Spicy.
a lot of cautions,
There was, and the fact
and
that
it has me stressing about it.
and we had to end on one, to say the least, because of time.
Yeah, we and just like so we bring it up again. Caution laps do not count in this race either. So there could be it could be a while.
Also, with that setting, if you have damage, you go into the pits, you can do your damage and still be on the lap. Found that out during the open. Hoping that doesn't count down to it here in the main event, but yeah.
Oh wow, we got a
Coming 1 to green.
sadly the back of the field's not caught up completely, but we should be there.
As long as they don't
Yeah, we
calibrate,
just
it,
caught
they'll
up
be
in
fine.
time. Yeah, I just warned them in chat to not calibrate the field. I will black flag.
Green flag is out.
So we have a solid what? How many cars are in this one?
Have 30. Yep, 33. Well, technically
look at that.
31. Because me and Davey don't count. Leaning green so far.
And one that's going to be one to watch is going to be the 371 of Alyssa. She came into ARCA first race, won. She be the Cinderella story, and that's just not because she's a female.
She is a bad you know what behind the wheel. There is no doubt about that. She, like you said, she came in and immediately put everyone on notice.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm keeping my eye on Nathan Estep. He's been him and Dobbs have been pretty dominant in the ARCA series, and they've shown that they can put the foot to the floor when it comes to it.
I'm watching Dobbs. Dobbs has been like my guy that I've watched a lot in this league and another. He is quick. I am petrified to race against that man in the Cup Series if he chooses to go that far.
Oh, somebody gets loose on the bottom, bumping the checkup.
Oh,
Gary
back into the
loses
field.
it. Oh, caution's out.
That all started.
Looks like Gary hit the apron.
Yep.
Well, he got bumped into the apron.
He got bumped into the
Jeff
apron
Medlin.
by Jeff Medlin. And that caused a major league stack up, and unfortunately he was not able to gather it back up and collected quite a few cars
Joe,
there.
Richmond, Tony, I think Dakota I see going around. That might be Chase. That was a hefty wreck. What do they call that? Shades of North Wilkesboro or something?
Oh yeah, we'll go with that. Bulldozer. Love you, Jeff.
And he can do that scot-free.
But I will say, you take a look back at that when Jeff did make that initial contact, he backed way, way, way off to try to give Gary some room to try to save that, and unfortunately, he just was not able to. Thinking the one guy that I'm really keeping an eye on, and I think is really going to be a force to be reckoned with next season, is Sean Pointer. Sean was 1,000% against coming onto the pavement side of the service for a very, very long time, and it took me an extremely long time to get him to finally come and run on the pavement, and since he's done what I really thought he would, which was be extremely, extremely fast. I wouldn't doubt to see Sean possibly win this race and definitely come top 3. He is that good.
So have we brought it up that if you are a top 3 finishing driver, like you can go to the Cup Series?
No, we have not brought that up yet.
Bobby, go to another spiel.
So top three finishers, if they are in a lower division, so ARCA Truck or Xfinity, you immediately punch your ticket into the Cup Series. Now, that's not a mandate. When I won in the ARCA Series, when I was an ARCA Series driver, I elected to go to the Xfinity Series because my schedule just did not allow me to run on Wednesday nights. I had something else that I had going on, and did not elect to move up. So at that point, then that spot is null and void. It does not move back to then, okay, second, third, and fourth. It's top 3 finishers. So as of right now, if for whatever weird reason, but for argument's sake, right now, if it was to end, Angels are already in the Cup Series, so that spot will be taken away. But Dobbs and Scott Stewart will punch their tickets directly into the Cup Series for next season.
All they have to do is find a team for it. Yeah, it's a nice spring if you, for whatever reason, don't want to go through the whole system. It's a good. I mean, if you can come into this and finish top 3, beating a lot of Cup people, I think it's a good option if you just feel like going to Cup, or if you don't like Xfinity or whatever the case may be.
Craig, if you don't like Xfinity.
Not everyone does. It's a super tight car. I mean, probably my favorite driver of this service is probably Gen 4 is how used that car is. But I mean, I love the Xfinity.
That's because you're broken.
That car is so fun to drive. I'm so thankful that the one season I went through ARCA here, we used the Gen 4 car. Oh, it was glorious. Me, Morris Jr., Banks, Schaefer. That was a good season of Gen 4. That was fun.
Me and the Gen 4 car do not get along. I does not like it.
I mean, that being said, I do really enjoy the Xfinity car. It is one of my favorites to run. But I get why people don't like it. It is a very tight race car to drive. It is not typically loose anywhere you go. It plows tight, and people don't like that.
Yeah.
But I would not. I wouldn't have wanted to miss Xfinity.
You guys had a heck of a season in Xfinity. There's no doubt about it. And
I'm still so salty for missing that Championship 4 race.
Mhm.
Oh
then
God, I'll never not be sad about that.
this season though it's really shaping up to be 2.0 of your season in Xfinity. I think it's going to be it's going to be a barn burner in Xfinity this season, especially coming down the stretch.
That's gonna be a heck of because there's a lot of super quick dudes that are in those playoffs. I mean, Banks and Schaefer are always like solid, going to be fast. Sean is fast. Dewsbury is super quick. Adam Pettit is really quick. There's
James McRae,
Dan McRae.
Penley,
There's a solid 7 or 8 guys you could say would win a race, and like it wouldn't be shocking to me. So it's going
yeah,
to be a hard fight for that Final Four.
it's stacked. There's no doubt about it. We're gonna have the pace car pulling off here. This car is off. See how good of a jump Angel gets here. Angel's very, very good on restarts.
Angel's good at everything. That man is so quick in these cars. I feel like he's just been joking around with us the entire regular season.
Oh, he's 110% playing with us. There's no doubt about it.
I think he probably has the most experience in these cars out of all of us.
I think he's got the most experience out of all of us, even if we combined our experience.
Because I've watched him race every Saturday or Sunday in a league, and he's always quick.
Why do you think I signed up for said league? I need more seat time.
I'll sign up for some, but not that one. Angel's is a special man for wanting to race there as much as he does. It is caution filled.
Angel is actually my car owner in that series.
He is being challenged though. Who's that up beside him? Is that Dobbs?
That is.
I'm kind of far back.
Mr. Red, White, and Blue. That is Dobbs.
Dobbs.
That
quick,
is Dobbs.
I'm telling you, if there was one dude that I don't want to race in Cup, it's him. I've seen him just straight up dominate the ARCA series. It feels like, even with all the cautions and the wrecks he's been in, he has won and done so well in a lot of races.
I'm going to start nicknaming Dobbs the Pitbull, man.
If you give me some Brendan Hughes line, if he's got that dog in him.
Oh, no, he ain't got that dog. He does have that dog in him, but I ain't saying that. He is one tough competitor. The thing is,
we are 3 wide back here. Jeez.
Yes.
And out of 3 and 4 too, this is the tight part of the track for me. Euchre did play that super well. Yeah. Usually, like I said, the high side for me has always been difficult to work, but Euchre worked that to perfection and got a good run.
Dak has come such a long way in such a short period of time. It's been incredible to watch his progression from ARCA up into, or from trucks, I should say, up into the Cup Series. He's another one. He just needs a little bit of luck, and that one's coming for him. And I think we're going to see it in the playoffs this season.
Yeah, I feel like if you can string together a couple of good finishes to end the regular season and, get some luck on your side, get some good karma going, it makes for a better playoff run. Just some confidence goes a long way.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you even said it as much in your interview at Pocono, where, myself and Zach are finally starting to get hot, and we're getting hot at the right time, and we're just hoping to ride that wave and hopefully try to send that old fishing pole out there and attach it to your rear bumper and reel you back in.
I hope it doesn't go that well. Let's see. Have we talked
Good
about the
stuff.
invert for stage 1 or for the stages?
Not
Invert.
yet, but I'll let you take that one.
Let me go find our ruling. I know it is the top 5. So there's a possibility at the end of stage 1 and stage 2 for the top 5 to go to the end of the pack. Tony will spin a magical wheel. I will watch him spin the wheel. I'm going to go join his channel and watch it spin. And if it lands on 1, the person in first place goes to the end. If it lands on 5, the top 5 go back to the end of the longest line. There is a chance for it to be nobody, but in the last 2 seasons I have done this, it's actually been pretty generous. I don't think we've had all 5 go to the end in quite a while. It's usually
No.
0.
It's usually, I know for a fact that last season's All-Star race, it went to 0, and I was yelling.
I hate it. This has always been my least favorite part of the favorite part of the All-Star is that inversion. I am so terrified of that inversion and going to the very back of the pack.
According to Chad, last season both stages were a 0 on the inversion.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
they were.
Because I kept not coming out in 6th place or something on purpose just to not get inverted, and then it never inverted, and I was just mad the whole time.
I'm gonna get the thing set up, but it's gonna take about 10 minutes, so yeah.
Baby. We've got battles all over the place. Top 5, with the exception of Angel, or
Oh,
too
meddling
wide.
sideways.
And you have this huge pack back here running 3 wide.
I do think this is, to me, this is one of the most racy cars we have, and it's crazy. And I feel like it's due to the dirty air, right? Because the dirty air is so bad, you consistently have people looking for clean air, and it's why you get so many 2 wide, 3 wide, multi grooves that you don't see in a lot of other cars. And that's been, again, a big change, but a welcome change, because it makes this car so fun to drive in a pack. A lot of cars single file out, and I feel like these people try not to in these.
Like you just said, you have to search for that clean air, and it's a product of searching for that clean air. Have some great battles going on all over the field right now.
Parkhurst, Stein, and Chase Harden near the rear of the pack. A 3 wide battle for, I think, 18th.
Yeah, Chase was in that first wreck, and I know he's probably itching to get back up through the pack. At this point, he's already in Cup. He doesn't need that transfer spot, but this is a pride thing. It's like you want to win the All-Star race. It's the best from every series, right?
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, that's what made it mean so much to me when I was fortunate enough to win at Montague. It looks like we're starting to settle down here a little bit. Still have about 23 laps until the first stage.
23?
Is it 23 or is it
Lap
13.
We got about 13
So-
laps.
30?
Yeah.
That's what it is. For some reason, I thought it was 40, 40, 20.
Thank God, no. I hate those short last stages. I have to
Me
remind
too.
myself to row stage at
I
30.
threw a hissy fiddle last season at Tony about that.
Tony is
Give us a long run at the end.
his weren't nearly as bad as what they used to be. I mean, before all that, we would have they would have in Cup 10 lap shootouts to end the race.
Oh, I heard.
Oh God,
I
it was
heard.
awful. It was not fun
I
to watch
would
the
not.
race.
I would not have even bothered. I would not have even bothered.
No. And that was Gen 6 era, and the Gen 6 is hard to get away from each other, so they were hectic last stages. Do you think this is one of those tracks? I have not put this car on this track for a long period of time. Is this one of those tracks that you're going to see people move up to that high line to protect, run the wall?
I think 1 and 2 we're gonna see it. 3 and 4, just with the way that corner is set up, I don't think they're gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
don't feel that they're going to be able to do it. But 1 and 2, I definitely, and like we said, we saw it on the restarts in the open. Is that outside lane can get such a run coming off a turn 2, especially as the tires wear. This is also the first race tonight, or the first stage tonight, that we're actually going to see some form of tire wear and tire heat realistically,
Yeah,
and
these guys
see
have a
how
lot
that
on the run.
affects cars. Yeah, exactly.
I do think there's someone's
Oh,
hard on the
we
wall.
got one in the wall.
Quite a few people hit the wall coming out of 4. Hernandez love tapped the wall.
See, that's one of those things that if that first person hits, you can usually almost bet the next couple are going to hit it too because they're following that leader off the corner. But unfortunately for who was that? They hit it a lot harder than everybody else did.
I think it was
about
Justin May.
Yeah, that was a hard hit.
And Justin is trying to hold off Sean Pointer, but Sean Pointer actually making a liar out of me and able to make that move actually around the outside. So seeing that, I may have to eat my words. I think maybe we will see guys start to move up here a little bit, Davey.
I'll be interested to see who actually does.
Alyssa, Joe Ibarra, Andrew Kolb, I think. Get into it. They're about to send each other around coming at it too.
Yeah, we got a hornet's nest going on back here.
Yeah, Alyssa and Joe. Yeah, they touch a little bit. Joe kind of gets tapped by the 29. Joe moves up and taps Alyssa a little bit. That was close. Good on him for not dying.
Chase Harden's still working his way up here. Currently working on Alyssa.
Yeah, that is a hornet's nest in this backpack. I mean, low lane, high lane, middle lane, every which way these guys can go to try and find some air or find some speed.
Sorry about that, fellas. I've had some family members walking unannounced.
You're good. Angel's really not getting away from Dobbs.
I think if Dobbs does come up to the Cup Series, I think that's somebody that we're all gonna have to really, really worry about, because he is going to be a contender every single race right off the bat, my opinion.
I'm really hoping he's I was hoping he was going to wind up being really bad in this car. Clearly, I'm wrong, and that's not going to be fun to do it next season or whenever he winds up being there.
I know from an ARCA and a teammate point of view, Dobbs has been really helpful with me trying to help me learn how to run that car around each track. So I appreciate him for what he's been doing. He's got more knowledge to skill.
I just
feels pretty damn high, so I can't imagine the knowledge.
I want to know if there's something that Dobbs isn't good at, because it's apparently good in just about every car that we have here, as well as he's one heck of a commentator. I was fortunate enough to be doing commentary with him and Tony one night, and he did a phenomenal job at that as well.
It'll be interesting to see. Again, I'll hold my tongue to the end of the race. I don't want to jinx nobody. It'll be interesting to see if we can get some people who are in a lower series to, migrate their way up to Cup immediately.
Ooh. Kolb hits the wall going into 1 because he got nervous around Matt.
Matt Ford's?
Yeah, I think Matt. He got nervous.
I'd be nervous around Matt too.
You hear that? You're breaking my chops, and your own teammates are just ragging on you, my guy. And you're gonna give me the hate, really?
Who's upgraded Arts? Is that Barkley?
No, that's Connor.
Oh.
No, the commentator's curse is real. I don't care. I'm too superstitious for that. That's why I don't
mean,
want to play car.
Whenever me and Isaac picked Matt for Talladega, look where that ended.
You're welcome.
Davey, you're so lucky I had to go to work, because neither one of us were going to be behind Josh or Matt.
I don't think I've ever been committed in a race to make someone else win that much before. I was dead set. This man is winning.
You did exactly what I would have done for Josh, or any good teammate would have done, man.
Lap
And
29, next lap of stage.
I 100% commend you for it, Davey.
I'm glad we got it. Usually plans like that never work out. I was
No,
thrilled
they
that it
don't.
actually worked.
I'll tell you what, though, and Josh has even said it, and Josh was the biggest loser out of that one by a couple thousandths. His checkered flag, or caution flag is out.
For the stage.
All right, I'm gonna go down here with Tony for a minute to look at the inversion, and I'll be right back.
Round and round the wheel goes.
I don't know. Dobbs and Angels. I guess we're trying to avoid the send back, but
Yes, I'll tell you exactly what they were doing. They
but this is
were
a bit
playing
far.
the same game that won me the All-Star race, which is playing that luck game. It's Russian roulette. And put yourself you either put yourself at the front of that inversion, middle of the inversion, or at the back of it, or time it just right where you're just outside of it, which is what I used to do.
I would stay right outside of it.
That's what I would do.
Did
Every
Joshua
time.
just say I played Orc in WoW?
Oh yeah, you got called out on it.
I play an undead. How dare you?
If you want to try transferring it, Jeremy, we can.
Hit
Yeah,
it.
no.
Go ahead and go.
Okay.
Make it. Oh, come on, Connor.
Never read anything Connor types out loud.
Yeah,
Life
Connor.
It's the specified channel where